Welcome to the Kween Conversations Podcast, the official podcast for United Kwendom, LLC, hosted by Teddi Rene. My God, yes, finally. Welcome, guys. Welcome. What have you been up to? Hello, and welcome to my new friends, the new members of the community. For those of you listening for the very first time, thank you for, checking us out, taking a listen. Share, please inspire others to listen as well. And to those of you returning to the Kween Conversations Podcast, welcome back, friends. What's up with you? What have I been up to? Let's see. Well, summer is slowly but surely, actually pretty quickly, coming to an end. The kids will be back in school soon. I have been working my butt off, being amazing. I have been putting some wonderful things in place for United Kwendom. Paraphernalia University is on summer vacation. I am currently just kicking it with the kids when they're home, and we're just having the best summer, just doing like everyday decent things. We haven't gone on vacation, we haven't traveled internationally or even locally, to be honest. We've just been Top Golf or going to the park, national night out, just like stuff around here, barbecues with the family, and we've been having an amazing time. So that has been fun. I have a couple of really important dates coming up, personal things, court dates. It's not, those aren't the types of things that you want to have to go through, but, and at the end of the day, God's will be done, and it'll all work for my good and the good of those involved. So it is what it is. I'm excited. What else? What have I been up to? I have been, Xavier had a birthday party. He had 2 birthday parties, but I threw him a birthday party at Top Golf. That was fun. What else happened? My niece had her second birthday party. That was fun. What else happened? I went to the wedding of the Bryces, Mr. and Mrs. Bryce, and it was amazing. A great time. That was fun. I've just been having fun, y'all. I've been, focusing on my goals. So financially, I've been practicing more and more discipline in managing my personal and business finances. That I am absolutely proud of. I was going to the gym I had a trainer, but due to a lack of accountability and I guess professionalism on my trainer's parts, basically I was showing up and nobody was there to train me. And, for all the money that I was paying, it was just not worth it. So now I am getting back into the habit of being my own accountability partner when it comes to that day-to-day getting in the gym thing. So I will keep you guys tuned as to how that is working out for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been doing a lot, but I haven't been doing much, I guess, is the best way to sum it up. So I hope you guys are having an amazing summer. I hope you guys have been to all of the amazing and the hottest, events, picnics. I know Curl Fest wasn't too long ago. Black Alumni Ball in DC was last weekend. What else has been happening? Just all types of stuff. I be living vicariously through my social media because some of those things I don't think I really want to go to, and things I want to go to. Obviously I don't want to go bad enough because I didn't go, but everyone looks really good and look really nice with their fly hair and their cute outfits, and they just look like they're having a really good time. And that actually just makes me happy, whether I'm there or not. What else have I been doing? That's pretty much it, honestly. So yeah, we're going to get into this episode. If you have not already listened to season 2, episode 0, the updates, go back in here, listen to that so that you can get some insight on the structure and the setup for this season. So this season, just a brief overview, there will be 2 episodes per week, dropping every Tuesday and every Thursday. So Tuesday episodes will be solo episodes. It'll be just you and I having a conversation, or basically just me talking to myself and, expecting somebody to listen eventually. And then on Thursdays you'll get my guest interviews. My guests this season are amazing. That's it. That's all I have to say about them. They're amazing. Every last one of them. And there is a lot of wisdom, a lot of encouragement, and just amazingness in these interviews that I'm bringing to you guys. So, so today's episode is on major transitions. All right. Why major transitions? Well, it's something that I think a lot of people tend to maybe not give its due when it comes to the attention that we give to major transitions. And not only like the amount of attention and focus that we put into those things, but the type of attention. Like a lot of times transitions are seen as just this horrible thing. However, we're always asking and praying for growth and evolution and to level up. But like a transition, a major life transition is exactly that, an opportunity to level up and to grow. So I just wanted to share a few things, a few thoughts, a few experiences, nuggets, things I've observed just through my own transitions and those of people near me and just in general, right? Because I think that sometimes the most difficult things and the most complicated concepts for us to get are the most simple. And oftentimes we don't get it or understand it because, no one really talks about it. So again, major transitions is something that we just don't give its due. So, I was listening to an audiobook and I believe it was, let me pull it up. I want to say it was the Power of Moments. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull it right on up for y'all because I want this to be right. Yeah. So it's The Power of Moments. Why? Come on, it won't open. Why certain experiences stick, right? Why certain experiences have extraordinary impact. And it's by Chip Heath and Dan Heath, and it's read by Jeremy Bobb. Okay, so I've listened to this book, right? And essentially what it said is that between the ages of 15 and 30, we all experience the majority of our firsts, right? So first loves, first jobs, first apartments, first homes. For some people, first marriages. For others, first children. For a lot of people, more than we'd like to admit, they also experience their first divorces, their first job losses, or the first time getting fired or let go. They oftentimes, between the ages of 15 and 30, will experience their first major loss in the form of death for someone that's important to them. So I know quite a few people who lost their grandparents when they were 16 or 17 years old. That's a major loss. And so throughout all of these firsts, we're also experiencing some of the first opportunities to find out exactly who we are and what we're made of as far as our strength and our tenacity. Each of these firsts help to mold us into the people that we eventually will become on the path to being our most highest potential, or reaching our highest potential and being our highest selves. So, I created United Kwendom because Black women, especially those between the ages of 24 and 34, are considered or expected to have it all together. If you ever go on Black Twitter, there is never a lack of 20-something Black people, women, men, period, who feel or will express their feelings of inadequacy, or like even if it's in a joke. I've seen one where it says, ha, I thought that by 25 or by 30 I'd be married with a kid. Jokes on me, like I'm single. And it's just like, I get that we all have these goals and aspirations and things, but 25, 30, even 35. Now I know y'all think that 30 is old, but it's not. So like even at the age of 30 and for some approaching 35, we are nowhere near having it all together. We are still figuring it out. Okay. And it's because this is a time where we're just now kind of putting together all of the lessons that we've learned from those first between, in the previous 15 years, from 15 to 30. And we're kind of using that and molding that and applying it to where it's trial and error, right? So we're having new first, and every time we feel like we've gotten something figured out, life comes and another boom hits us. Another transition, another adaptation must be made. We must adapt and we must grow and learn from the things that are happening to us. So I created United Kwendom because even though we're supposed to have it together, most of the time we don't. And there seemed to be a lack of resources and support for adults who should know better, essentially. Like that's kind of the way, that's just the way that I took it. Like a lot of things are geared towards very young people and very old people. They're geared towards more traditional ages, depending on what the transition is, like what's expected. So, like you're expected to lose your parents, or the hope is that you'll lose your parents to death when you're older and they're really old. But the reality is a lot of people actually lose their parents in like their 30s and their 40s. And a lot of us, especially for us Black people, our parents are not very old when we lose them, right? Like they are barely 50, if that. We are dying so quickly that a lot of us have to deal with things that previous generations did not have to deal with until they were well into their later years. Like they were losing their parents at when their parents were 80 and pushing 90, not 40 pushing 50. Okay. So that's just kind of a little more background on like what United Kwendom is, why this topic is important to me. So I wanted to do the first solo episode of the season on the topic of major transitions, kind of like in a fact versus fiction kind of way, like what you heard versus the reality of it all, to kind of help, clear up the depressive dialogue that you are not a failure if you have not achieved certain milestones by the age of 25, 30, or 35. Like you're just human. It happens, right? So here's just a couple of things about transition, major transition. Number one is that try as you may, they cannot be avoided. Major transition, it's going to happen. It's called life, right? Life happens all the time. Have you ever felt like been going through something and felt like, man, I've been here before. Like, why this again? Like, why God, why are you putting me back in this situation? Right. And then if you really sit and think about it, you have to kind of own up to the fact that the first time you went through this lesson or this test, you didn't really go through it. You kind of skipped over it, or you may have just like swindled your way around it, but you didn't learn the lesson that you were supposed to learn from it the first time. And I don't know about you, but I am 100% sure that if you do not learn from it the first time, it's going to keep on knocking at your door, busting out your windows, pulling the blankets up off you when you're sleeping at, the most inopportune times to get you to learn that lesson. I absolutely believe that, there are some things in life that God is not going to allow us to have until we learn the lessons and receive what we need to have in order to maintain that and to be responsible for the gifts that he gives us. So if there's a lesson that you must learn in order to level up and, achieve those goals and those dreams and have the things that you've prayed for, then it would be in your best interest to just get it out of the way the first time. Because major transitions cannot be avoided, period. Number 2, the transition that you are currently experiencing, it's not the first one, and it absolutely will not be the last transition that you ever experience. There are some good things to that, right? There are good and bad things to that. So the bad thing is that transitions tend to get harder. They're not going to get easier, but they're becoming more challenging as a sign of you becoming stronger. You're getting better. So the transitions gotta, go a little harder. Things that you have to learn, the lessons that are coming your way have to be a little tougher in order for you to exercise that muscle and grow it, right? So you should actually just kind of look at it and consider it as a reward when your trials and your obstacles get bigger and badder on you, because that means that you are getting bigger and badder. The devil has to come with something a little more hardcore to try and shake you. And that's a good thing, because that means that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on and you're doing what you're supposed to do. Now, the other good thing about the fact that the trials that you're experiencing right now not being your first or your last is that you now have a receipt book of other previous times where you were in a tough spot, where there was a major transition and you conquered it, right? So you can always look back and be like, you know what? This feels familiar. The last time something major happened, it was tough, it was rough, but guess what? I got through that shit. I got through it. I succeeded, I conquered, and this is no different. Let's do it, right? You can use that as your motivation. And it helps. Number 3 thing about major transitions that I wanted to share is that, and this is a big one, especially for my Black women, major transitions do not have to be navigated alone. Okay. You don't have to do it by yourself. I don't know why. I'm sure I know why if I really sat and thought about it, but I want us to get away from always feeling like we have to do things by ourselves. We have to, go through the trenches alone. We can't, I don't want to bother everybody or burden everyone with my troubles. No. You need a support system. It's okay to need a support system. You are human. We're built that way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting human connection and support. Period. If that is what you need, you have a network, you have a circle of friends, you have a family. You were born into a network of people. You are a child of 2 people. That's a network. And guess what? They are each individually children of 2 other people. That's a network expanding. They have parents and they have parents and they have parents and cousins and sisters and brothers. You have a built-in network from birth that you can tap into when you are experiencing trials, tribulations, major transitions, etc. Now, whether you choose to do that or not is up to you. But I can absolutely say that life is easier when we all act like we're in this life thing together, because we are, Additionally, there is wisdom in generations, whether they're your family, your friend's family, you're just in your network, period. Like, someone has been exactly where you are, and one day someone else will look to you as to how you navigated what you're currently going through for like a frame of reference so that they can get through what they'll be going through. So you can decide to be lonely on the journey if you want to. Or you can invite people to it and get the support that you need, get through it with less stress, less pain, less loneliness. And the trial won't look and the transition won't look so bad or so tough. I promise you. Number 4, and this is the last one that I have. Yes, major transitions can be absolutely terrifying because, of course, it's the fear of the unknown. Oh, what if? How do I know? You don't know, right? You don't know. It's scary. However, they can also be so very exciting. The one thing, the biggest thing, the best thing that I have learned and accepted about life, just life and major transitions, is that they can lead to some of the most amazing places, right? Major transitions, at least for me. And if I was a gambling person, I would bet seriously that there were at least 100 other women, 100 other people who would have similar sentiments or at least thoughts and be like, you know what, you're right. But major transitions can introduce you to versions of yourself that you never knew existed, right? How many times have you gotten through something and you look back and was like, damn, I did that, huh? Like, I didn't even know that was in me. You know, it's just like, I just did it because it needed to be done. Like, you know, like, that's an amazing feeling. Second to only, the next great thing about it being scary and exciting, is that a major transition could absolutely be the key to unlocking the potential that you always knew that you had inside of you. That is probably the most amazing thing in the world, is getting through something and saying, instead of saying, damn, like being shocked and surprised that you did it, but like getting through it and knowing like, oh yeah, I knew I could do that. Like I always knew I could. Like I don't know. I just needed something to bring it up out of me. Like there are times where, try as you might, you are not going to be able to be or do the thing that you want. Like there feels like there's a block, right? Major transitions can serve as a hammer, a shovel, a chisel, whatever tool to remove that block so that you can achieve your highest potential and be the greatest version of yourself possible. Man, like I'm always sitting in awe, and I'll text my best friend Pup and be like, yo, like, you remember when even matter of fact, just today I was telling him about some stuff at work, and I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm like the only woman in the room. It's like a couple other black people in here, but I'm like the only young black woman in the room. And I'm the person in this room that knows all of this stuff. Like, it's amazing because, he was like, like just 2 years ago, like you was sitting on your sofa, like working overnight for like Marriott. And I'm like, I know, like I've come a long way. And he's like, you have. And I have, having that moment where you're just like, I knew I was going to get here. And then you're sitting there and you're like, yo, I'm here. Like it is amazing. Like it's something that I wish everyone could feel, right? And I try to do that all the time. So a part of getting to that point, though, is believing in yourself and knowing that you are capable of more. Yeah, man, it's just amazing. So, I mean, I know that this is what I'm about to say now is probably cliche or taboo or whatever, but it is the goal-getter tip of the day, right? And essentially it is mindset. Your mindset about things. All of the tips, all of the things that I've said about major transitions today essentially go back to your mindset. You can't avoid them, right? Stop thinking you can. Stop trying to. You're trying to avoid it. That's because you have failed to accept that you have to go through this in order to level up, right? The transition that you're currently in, there's a mindset shift that must change for you to realize, all right, I may not have been in this exact space before, but I've accomplished other things before. So I'm going to get through this. That's a mindset thing, right? Trying, deciding whether you want to navigate it alone or if you want to, get some support. That's a mindset thing. That's an ego thing and a pride thing. But all of that starts with a decision that you are not going to let circumstances, or you're not going to let your ego and your pride take precedence over you needing to get through this. That's mindset. Okay. And then, the difference between it being scary and exciting, how you view that is a mindset matter. So the go-getter tip of the day is that your mindset is the difference between what a transition will mean to you. And again, I know a lot of people say this, and some people may actually be sick of hearing it, but it's true. Your mindset can be responsible for the thing that, oh man, the thing, it could be it's literally the difference between something that happened to you and something that happened for you, right? Or something that happened because of you or something that happened in spite of you. It's all in how you perceive it. Your perception is your reality. What you see is in what you think is absolutely what you will see. Nobody's ever going to be able to change your mind but you. So you have to change, and you have to decide that you want to change, and you have to decide that you are going to look at things from a very specific lens before you can actually start reaping the benefits of that. And that is something else that I've learned about major transition. When I was unemployed and my mom had died, and there was just so much debt in the house and just utilities, and it was a mess. I literally stopped being able to see the silver lining in things. And that was my superpower. You know how it feels to lose your superpower? It is devastating, except you don't feel devastated because everything else is already so shitty that you can't even really give the true attention to how devastated you should feel about losing your superpower. It's just, it's the worst. Sorry, guys, I keep pausing the mic. I told y'all the devil is trying me. My throat is itchy. I'm over here coughing. But yeah, the go-getter tip of the day is, decide that you are going to look at things from a mindset and a perspective that only sees the greatness of every major transition, of every opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to have all the things that you've prayed for. It's an opportunity to get some of the things that you've worked for. It's an opportunity. If we look at transitions as opportunities as opposed to hurdles or obstacles or trials, that mindset shift in itself, it's invaluable. Okay, so I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again because I really want you to get this. And anyone who knows me, really, really knows me, you may be shocked that I'm even saying these things, but it's true. You all know my story. I have lived many lives. I have been many a different people, attitude. I'm just so grateful that I have evolved past those versions of myself. I am so much happier. I am so much more grateful. I am so much more forgiving. I am well protected. My boundaries are solid. Okay. And life is reflective of that. My life is reflective of that. And the life of those connected to me also reflects that. And I just want that for everyone. But anyway, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode, the first episode of season 2 of the Kween Conversations podcast. Like I said, I am literally recording this the night before it's supposed to go. Oh, well, actually, technically, it's supposed to go up in a few hours. It's now the 13th. But the devil was trying me. And, that's a mindset shift too. You know, I used to get pissed off and upset and just be mad that like, oh man, technology is just stupid damn computer, like, and just be mad. But now I'm just like, oh yeah. Oh, okay. So you're not trying to work? You know what that means? That means I got some for somebody. I got a message for somebody. What I have to say, what's coming through these speakers is going to help somebody. It's going to heal somebody. Guess what? I'm not going to stop till I get it up because somebody needs this. Whoever is connected to what's coming out of these speakers is going to get it. The devil is not going to win. Like, I take it as a challenge now when things start to go, you know, less than perfect or not like I expected them to. I take it as a challenge because that lets me know that something I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that the devil is scared, right? People only talk shit. People only come after you. People only attack you when they're afraid and when they can't see, you know, past their own pain and their own trauma. When they're not in a space to appreciate themselves, they want to break you down. They want to tear you down. They want to stop you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing and stop your greatness. The devil ain't no different. So I'm just saying, y'all. You know, I was trying to get this podcast. And like I said, technology's been jacking up disk space, chargers, my microphone. I almost broke my microphone, y'all. I need a new adapter. And then now my voice, it's just like, it's so bad. But guess what? We got through it. Episode 1, season 2 of the Kween Conversations Podcast. I'm going to stop now because I started to ramble. Y'all know I'm still working on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will continue to listen. As always, I'm just going to ask you to like, share, review, request a friend or family to take a listen to an episode, a snippet, a clip. You never know whose purpose or destiny is connected to something or someone that's going to be on this show or something that they're going to hear. So please, please, please do not keep this a secret. Okay? Tell the world. I'm always open to feedback. Give me your down, dirty, low down, raw insight, good, bad, indifferent. It's all an opportunity to improve. So don't forget, again, every Tuesday and Thursday, you get a new episode of the Kween Conversations Podcast. This is your Tuesday episode. And this Thursday, I have for you I can't even talk. I have for you an amazing, wonderful, inspiring episode interview with the Toni Lawson of the B.org. Yes, that is correct. And she's super amazing, dope. Like, I had so much fun talking to her. So this Thursday, check us out on the Kween Conversations Podcast. As usual, you can find me at Teddi Rene on Instagram, Teddi_Rene on Twitter, or teddi-rene.com. The Kween Conversations Podcast can be found at the KC Podcast on Instagram, the _KC Podcast on Twitter, or at www.unitedkwendom.com/podcast. I'm laughing because that damn Twitter _, like, and I'm saying it again. I feel like I say this on every episode. I've said it, and you'll hear it a lot of times this season. But whoever is holding Teddi Rene hostage on Twitter, please deactivate your account so I can have my handle. Please. Okay? And I have some friends who are the same way. They are whatever on every social media platform except Twitter. They got an _. The only person I know who enjoys an _ is Sarah. Sarah and that damn _. But anyway, so yeah, so follow, like, share. I'm out of here, guys, and I will talk to you guys again on Thursday. Bye.